I mean, I don't know where to start. I'm just really angry. And I was trying to explain my feelings. And my sentences make no sense. This is senseless. I just have a bunch of questions. Why did another black man have to die? Why has murder become so normal for me to see on social media? Why has it been normalized that these are black people? I can be watching a TikTok and scroll 2 spaces down and there's someone dying, and then people are still TikToking. I don't get it. I don't have language for how angry I am because it's linked to so much.
Yeah.
It's linked to so much pain. And like, you can look at that video, you can look at George, and it's so clear. Like, it's been like since like the videos have been becoming clearer and clearer to like really highlight that this is happening. So if you think that this isn't occurring, that people are just being dramatic, that you don't have to really address the privilege that you have, like the video was clear.
Yeah.
A white man killed a black man today. It was clear. So there's no denying it. And I have to tell myself that, like, this is the reality that I'm living in, and there's no denying it. Like, I'm not being overdramatic. No. People that you're seeing aren't being overdramatic. If that's what you're thinking. It's like the time is now, because clearly the reconciliation talk that we've been having, it's not the answer.
Yeah.
So if you have a platform of any kind, if you have an Instagram link, a social media name, anything, we should be saturating the social media with what's happening because it's real and it needs to be addressed.
Yeah. I think, we should. It's crazy we were having this conversation last week about a completely different incident, completely different murder. And we're talking about just flooding social media. Obviously, because I saw the quote again today, where it says, racism isn't new. It's just now it's on tape.
Mm-hmm.
And it's frustrating to hear that.
Yep.
It's disheartening to hear that, but it's also saying, okay, now you can't ignore it. And that's kind of where I'm at. As an individual, you no longer can ignore this. You can't just scroll. Exactly. As a white person, white man, white woman, you can no longer ignore this. You can no longer just scroll past it on your feed or be numb to the murder of innocent people. It's, as a human, you no longer can ignore this. That's just, there's a response that is necessary. And like you said, if you have a platform, talk. If you have a heart, listen. If you see a lack in your own life, there's room for repentance and it's necessary. It is required.
In action.
Like you have to do something. You can no longer just walk to the grocery store the same way. Like the same way we said with this COVID-19, things will never be the same. This day, Shamark, will never be the same.
Epidemics are colliding.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And so it's like what's been going on, the way we've handled this forever, it can't happen that way ever again. Our normal will never be the same. And to just think, that we're inviting you into this conversation. These are conversations that we have.
Yeah.
Because we understand that God has gifted us grace and mercy. And that we're going to be married and we're going to have children. And this is going to be their normal. And so, again, as Trevor said, if you have a heart, then love. But, yeah.
Yeah, there's a... people were saying, at this pandemic, right? We'll get through it.
Yeah.
We'll always get through it. This thing will pass. This new, not this new, but this now, I believe, the more important fight that we have now is fighting this racist infrastructure, this racist system that we operate in on a daily basis. And that will be what breaks America. That will be what breaks our communities. Not the pandemic. As tragic as the pandemic is, people said the pandemic doesn't have a target.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not discriminatory.
Mm-hmm.
What we're seeing is there are white people who are racist, and they are, it's woven into the fabric of this nation, into the fabric of our day-to-day operations. And until we recognize it, until we do something about it, we will continue to crumble.
And I get that you may have a lot of questions right now, maybe questions for the people who are close to you, and if you're like me, you have a whole lot of questions for God. And I challenge you to not waste another second before you ask those questions. And if you find a person who isn't willing, go to the next. Find the next, go on Google the next thing. You have unlimited resources in your hands, so you have no excuse. Address your privilege. Address what's next. I know that social media posts, TikToks, all of these things have been giving us some form of hope and joy and peace during this time. But again, we challenge you that if you have any platform, it is so important to flood the media so that no one can ignore what is actually happening.
Yeah.
It's becoming normal to watch somebody die. We serve a God of justice, a God of love, and if you are in search for his heart, and his will, then here you go.
This is the moment where I believe we've been a society that has let things slip, that has let things just pass as, once it gets out of the news cycle, it's a lost thing. And that we can no longer afford that. And I don't know, this might be weird to say, but I'm holding you personally responsible. And I believe we all have an individual responsibility, a personal responsibility to step into action after this. Like after you're seeing all the social media posts, whatever it is, if it's a conversation, like Shanice said, if it is, hey, I need to do some research, we have tons of books we can refer you to. Like whatever is next for you, take the step. It's on you. You're the only one that can hold yourself accountable.
You're the only one who can check your heart.
You're the only one, and you have to do it. As a believer, you have to do it. That's not a question.
That's given.
As a human, I believe that's the same level.
Yep.
Yeah.
My name's Shanice. This is Trevor. You can find us here if you need that person and you're willing to act now. We're open.